And welcome back once again, everybody. Jim Crane here with you. Today I'm going to show you this product from a company called Colsenkeane out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a leather satchel that they call the number 4313 standard leather satchel. And this particular satchel is in a leather that they call Scotch Grunge, which is a proprietary name that they chose themselves. The leather is a full grain cowhide. It is 10 ounces in weight, 4 millimeters thick, and it's from an American tannery. And I suspect what they're calling Scotch Grunge is Horween vegetable tanned Dublin, which is a vegetable tan leather that has some pull-up in it. And so if you bend this leather first of all is very, very thick, but if you bend it, you get to see this color change, which is actually the oils and greases and waxes that are impregnated into the leather, redistributing as you flex the leather. Then when the leather flattens back out again, you can rub those oils and greases right back to the surface and it will take on its original color. So I suspect it's vegetable tan Dublin just from the look and the smell. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking it is. So let's go through the bag. First of all, it's 16 inches wide. It's a little over 10 inches tall. It's actually about, this bag's 10 3/4 inches tall. And it's about 3.5 inches wide. It's actually closer to 4 inches right here. And they call it a satchel. And a satchel by definition is a soft-sided bag. This one is not very soft. That's as much flex as you have in this bag. The leather is just so thick, so it's just a really thick leather. But we can call it a satchel. So it's got a very simplistic design. It is actually made from 3 pieces of leather in total. So you've got this piece here that runs for your flap down the back, becomes the bottom, and then becomes the front of the bag. So it's 1 piece of leather for that, which is nice. There's the end of it, and then you've got these 2 side pieces that are stitched in to create the bag. So very simple in design. It's a little more expensive to make a bag that way because of the extra waste that you have in the hide, but it does make for a stronger bag. So the construction is we've got these straps that run through the leather. They're not stitched on in any way. They just run through these slots that are cut in the leather. So the straps are kind of free, although there's not a lot of movement with these straps. The straps aren't going to, you can't cinch down on them. The only hole that you're ever going to use is this hole or this hole. So if you had something taller in the bag, you might use the bottom hole, but when you secure it, there's just no way you can scrunch down on this bag to use any of the other holes. It's just not going to happen. So these are just there, I guess maybe just for aesthetics. Okay, so let's go through the shoulder strap. The shoulder strap is made from the same 10-ounce vegetable tan leather. It is very, very stiff. It's pliable in this direction, but it is not pliable in this direction. So it acts, this piece that looks like a shoulder pad, there's no padding, it's just a single piece of leather that the shoulder strap runs through, acts really well as a shoulder pad. It distributes the weight across the full width. So when I've been using this bag the last several days, I've had it loaded down with all my stuff, and when this part is on my shoulder, I barely perceive that there's a bag hanging from my shoulder. It's that comfortable. So they did a really good job with that. It looks kind of rather crude, but it does a really good job. Okay, the strap is adjustable from 46 inches and out to 50 inches. Okay, using this really kind of huge overkill buckle. There's one keeper here. It would have been nice if they had added another one here to manage this extra leather when you have the strap in that size. So it would have been nice to have another keeper there. The handle is very, very basic. It's a single piece of leather that is folded over on itself. So you have 3 layers here that form the middle, and then they're just riveted together with copper rivets. The edges on the bag are all raw cut. There is no burnishing, there's no dressing the edges at all. It would have been nice, in my opinion, if this inside edge here was, if they took a few minutes and ran an edger on this edge to kind of bevel it and kind of soften it. Would have been nice if they did to the top as well on all 4 edges. The handle is just as tough as nails. It's just super beefy, but it would have been nice if it would be a little more comfortable in your hand, especially because the bag is heavy. I'm not sure what it weighs, but it is probably going to be the heaviest bag that you've ever purchased. It's probably, gosh, 6 pounds, maybe more. So by the time you get your stuff in it, it's going to be a heavy bag. So it would have been nice if these edges were rounded over for comfort. Okay. So again, the hardware, it's kind of, this particular bag, the hardware is kind of unusual, but this is an early production bag. In fact, if you watch Colsenkeane's video on the 4313 standard leather satchel, this is the actual bag from that video that I got. So it uses swivel snaps for the straps. The swivel snaps on this bag are a kind of antiqued or brushed finish. And then these rings here are stainless steel, but they're kind of shiny, so they don't really match. It doesn't really bother me that much. If you order a bag now, it's going to come with a D-ring instead of this device here. Okay. It is secured with 3 copper rivets, so that's never going to pull out. Okay. So let's go through the construction. When I first got this bag, I was thinking it was going to be really hard to open this bag because on one of Scott's videos, Scott Hofert, the owner, it looked like he was really struggling to get these open. I was really rather concerned, but you can see it's quite easy to open it. It's stitched using hand stitching, and a very heavy-duty cord is used. There are holes that are punched in the leather, and then it's actually stitched. They start the stitching here, they run it all the way down the bottom, all the way up to the back, and then they re-stitch it all the way back again. So there's actually 2 cords that make up each stitch, okay? And Scott says that's because, you know, the more holes you have for stitching, or the finer, the more stitches per inch, the more it becomes a weak spot on the bag and can kind of act like a perforation line. But with leather this thick, that's really not a worry. That probably would not happen. It's just too darn thick to, even if it were 2 or 4 times as many stitches per inch. But it's nice. It's never going to pull out. It's got a very nice simplistic look to it. I'm not worried at all by the few number of stitches. It's just a really well-made bag. So inside the bag there are 2 inserts. They are raw vegetable tanned leather in about 5 or 6 ounce. There are pockets on each insert that are riveted on. I'm not sure why they're riveted on. I would prefer if they had been stitched on, but they're riveted on and using hollow cap rivets. It's not like you're going to put, you know, a tire iron in there or a car jack, so putting your wallet or cell phone is never going to pull those rivets out. But I just think it would have been nicer if they were stitched in. It doesn't require a lot of skill to make these inserts, but they're a little bit on the expensive side. They're about $250 each, and it's just a basic piece of rectangular piece of vegetable tan leather with the pockets riveted on. So you've got what they call a phone pocket on each insert, a pocket for pens and pencils, and then 2 business card pockets on each insert for some reason. So with 2 inserts, you got 4 business card pockets in this bag, which I don't know who could ever use all of those. It would have been nice if there were an option to have one insert designed one way and one insert designed another way, with maybe more useful pockets in there. But they call these cell phone pockets. I wouldn't put my cell phone in there. I would think if I had my cell phone in there and the bag was all closed up and I heard it ringing, I think I would go into a panic. And so I prefer to have my phone either on my person or in a magazine pocket on the back of the bag. This bag doesn't have one. It is an option. It's a fairly expensive option that they stitch in. And then on the bottom edge, they don't stitch it. They use 3 copper rivets to hold the bottom edge in. So it's only useful for, you know, larger objects, a magazine, a newspaper. You wouldn't want to put your cell phone or iPad mini in there because it would slip right out the bottom and hit the pavement. So I would prefer if they had a nice magazine pocket that was stitched all the way around that I could actually throw my cell phone into. But that's not how this bag is designed. So it's a nice bag. I wasn't thinking I was really going to like it that much, but it is actually a very nice, useful bag. I've been using it. The pockets are useful except for the business card pockets, so it would have been nice if there were another option there. I don't think the bag is ever going to break down or fail in any way. It's not a bag that you put in, you know, your Mercedes-Benz or your Jaguar or your Ferrari. It's the kind of bag you put in your Ford F-250 Super Duty or other kind of rough and tough SUV. It's for that kind of person. It's not, you know, really suitable for a, you know, boardroom on Fifth Avenue. It's more of a just a heavy-duty, tough as nails, you know, person who, you know, carried onto the construction site or, you know, to your office. But it's not, you know, a salesman selling, you know, high-end items probably wouldn't carry this into sales meetings. It's just a really rough, tough, hard as nails satchel, and there are people that just absolutely love that, and I like it too. I've been using it. I really like it. It's a nice bag. It is a little bit on the expensive side. The prices are kind of varied on this bag quite a bit, but there will be a link below, so if you like it, you can order one for yourself. And I will see all of you again next time with another bag review. Bye-bye, everybody.